Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where I play too many colors and try to get away with it. Today, I am drafting Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I am sitting at Platinum 1 with 2 pips left before I hit Diamond rank. So, if we can just pick up 2 wins before we get our first loss, we'll hit Diamond, or if we can net 2 wins overall in the event, we're going to hit Diamond. So 5-3 or better would do it, or just getting 2 consecutive wins. And it looks like we are already seated at a table. I know I've been drafting kind of creature-based white in the last few drafts. I think I did white-blue and then white-black. But here, there's a white creature that massively stands out for its power level in this pack, and that is Earth Kingdom Jailer. Something I learned in the last event that I played, where I was playing against an extremely good 6-mana enchantment, is that this card can not only exile a creature, which is the usual effect for this sort of 3-mana white uncommon that we've seen a lot in the last, well, actually 10 plus years. I guess there was one in Innistrad, and there have been many in recent sets that kind of lock down a creature until they leave the battlefield. This one also can exile an artifact or an enchantment. Importantly, though, only one with mana value 3 or greater. This rare is really nothing as far as I can tell. It is the kind of build around that I personally love, but even I am not going to be pack one, pick oneing a card like that. I think True Ancestry maybe is an underrated card. Otter Penguin is another underrated card. Airbending Lesson is fantastic. And Fire Nation Cadets is a good card as well, but we're very happy to just snap up an Earth Kingdom Jailer right here. Again, in this pack, I'd say there is a power level outlier, and it's not the Tiger Seal. As much as I love trying to make cards like Tiger Seal work, and by the way, the art is awesome on this card, I think Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper is clearly just the best card in the pack. I do respect, let's say, I don't know, there's some decent removal, there's some decent blue interaction in the form of Lost Days and Octopus form, and Water Tribe Captain is a perfectly fine piece for a creature-heavy white deck, but Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, which lets you just make a little Shadow Spirit army, is a really fantastic reward for the draw 2 deck. So we'll take this, and we're kind of setting ourselves up for something in the Esprit kind of controlling space. And what could go better in an Esprit controlling deck than Heartless Act? Heartless Act, actually, honestly, in my opinion, by pack 3, that begins to be a signal. They left Soka in the pack, which makes sense because it's a gold rare that's, not a, massive bomb. Maybe someone took an uncommon or something. It even looks like maybe someone took a common. There are not that many, or maybe there was like also a mythic in this pack or whatever, but there are not that many cards in the set that I would take over Heartless Act, which is almost an unconditional 2-mana instant speed removal spell. Not quite unconditional, but pretty close. So I'm just going to snap that up, and it sounds like maybe someone's avoiding black a little bit. In this pack, I do not think the last Agni Kai is playable. It is very, very, very conditional to have a fight spell just work as a clean removal spell. Serpent of the Past I really liked a lot in the early format, and if we're doing some kind of Esper control, maybe if we got a lot of lessons, it could be playable. It's very possible, actually, that we'll wheel it out of this pack. Not very possible, but it could happen. The card that I have my eye on is actually just Messenger Hawk. I think this card is really fantastic. I will give a shout out as Unlimited Splash to the dual land. I actually think it's kind of wise in a pack that's not that great like this one to perhaps take a dual land, take an Ong's Journey, get your colors together. But overall, this pack is pretty weak, and I think Messenger Hawk is a pretty not weak card. And by the way, it goes very nicely with Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. And you know what else goes not just nicely with Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, but just amazingly in any deck, I think. Well, not any deck, but Agna Kella. First of all, this is just a good card. Like in raw terms, a land is almost as good as an island. Maybe it can't do a turn 1 Gran if you have a swamp and this and Gran in your hand. There are some cases where it's worse, but it's basically just an island, and it has a loot ability attached to it. So it's pretty hard to lose a grindy late game situation when you have one of these cards. And by the way, it activates all of your draw 2 all on its own. So this goes fantastically with Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. What are we passing? A few cards I'm noting. Katara, I think, is good. Deadly Precision is pretty good. Yip Yip is a good card, and Ostrich Horse. And by the way, the Giant Koi is pretty good as well. So out of those, I do feel like blue and black are a pretty good spot to be. In this pack, I think there are 3-ish, 2-ish cards that have real power. So Allies at Last is a nice instant speed removal spell. The affinity for allies doesn't even matter that much. It's like it kind of matters. It's often going to be a 2-mana bite spell, but an instant speed bite spell the weakness of a bite spell is that they can remove the creature that you are using to bite the other creature, and this card does not have that weakness because you target 2 of your creatures. So there are a lot of times you can set it up so that a removal spell does not blow you out. Other than that, I think I'm actually just going to, with the start that we have, I think I'm just going to take Swamp Snare's Trap. It does get stuck in my head pretty often, but it's often just a hard removal spell. Pretty low on Razor Rings, and I actually do like the Giant Koi, but I like the Trap more in this situation. Here, I think it's a pretty easy Octopus form. Octopus form does things like protect your Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper and your Earth Kingdom Jailer, and any other cool cards that we might get. It also is nice as an instant speed kind of trick. It's good in this format, especially though, because it's also a lesson. So it goes with your lesson synergies. Probably the most powerful card in the pack, in my opinion. Here we're starting to see maybe our colors dry up a little bit. Earth Rumble is not super impressive to me, but Yip Yip is good. Geyser Leaper technically can win games, but overall pretty weak card. There's an Ostrich Horse, a Vindictive Warden, and a Foggy Bottom Swamp. I think out of this pack, I'm most likely to just take the Foggy Bottom Swamp. I could technically take Vindictive Warden, but I'm really not looking for sub-replacement level 3 drops. Maybe the best card in the pack is Yip Yip, but it's so far from our plan that I'm not sure that I really want that. So let's just take the Fixer for the future. Here, I actually didn't even mention in the first pack that there was an Otter Penguin, but I super respect this card. Agnikella turns it into a 3/3. It goes off on the same synergies as Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Messenger Hawk activates it. I had a draft where my Grand snuck through 1 million damage with these little Otter Penguins. And you know what? This is unlimited splash. We love build-arounds. We love doing egregious stuff. We love fun. Probably the second Octopus form is not making my deck. So let's try Tiger Seal. If I can get, I don't know, 9+, 10+ ways of drawing a second card, and I want to build an aggro deck, I might actually run the Tiger Seal. Very surprised to see Lost Days left in this pack. I like Otter Penguin quite a lot, but I think Lost Days is a very, very strong interactive spell because it is sort of a soft removal and it activates all of your draw 2 synergies. And Otter Penguin, it's good, but it's replacement level. Here, all 3 of these cards are not good, so there really aren't any signals here. We'll just take the one that fits in our deck. Giant Koi, this almost gets to be a signal to me because Giant Koi can win games. Unblockable is nothing to sneeze at. And this pack is kind of nutty for us. So first of all, the card that we're going to take, I'll just cut to the chase, is Ty Lee. Really fantastic. I mean, Ty Lee, it just locks down one of their creatures at instant speed and then gets in for prowess damage. Really fantastic card. Earth Kingdom Jailer is comparable in power level. It's a little bit below, I think, but it's not that far below. Airbending Lesson is great. Watery Grasp is great, and we would be thrilled to have the dual land in the 2 colors that are the most central for us so far. We really don't know if we're going to be playing white. So we're going to take Ty Lee very happily. I think we're hoping to wheel a Serpent's Pass. I would consider that a good but realistic outcome from this pack. So we'll see if we get that Serpent's Pass back. But we're obviously just taking Ty Lee. We have an interesting choice here, and I think there are several legitimate directions to take this in. First of all, Waterbending Scroll is actually kind of nice. We do look very blue heavy, and it would activate Tiger Seal, Otter Penguin, Foggy Swamp. It activates several of our cards. North Pole Gates would let us splash into Earth Kingdom Jailer if we want to go in more of an Esper controlling direction. And note that these are 2 very opposed directions because North Pole Gates is pulling us away from having a lot of islands. Waterbending Scroll is pulling us towards very blue. And then finally, there's an Otter Penguin as well as a Deadly Precision. Sorry, losing my voice a little bit. I'm just going to grab the Waterbending Scroll for the simple reason that I believe blue has been notably extremely open so far. So picking blue cards sounds like a good direction to go for me. This is a very interesting pack. So how good is Fire Lord Azula? A 4/4 for 4. When you cast a spell while it's attacking, copy that spell and you may choose new targets. This card, I love build-arounds like this. I love trying to make them work, but it's specifically because they're not very good. If we were already in Grixis and had a bunch of awesome payoffs for it, I might try to make it work. But when I can just take a Deadly Precision out of the pack and get another amazing piece, well, very functional piece for my blue-black deck, I'm more likely to do that. So I'm going to take the Deadly Precision here. Another day we'll play around with Fire Lord Azula. I love copying spells. I have a huge weakness for that. But this is not the time. In this pack, there are three interesting options. First of all, Kyoshi Battlefan is underrated. This card is a 2/1 for 2 that can fit in absolutely any deck. It's just a nice way to make sure that your curve is only so bad, let's say. It puts a floor on how bad your curve can be if you manage to pick up a few of these. However, there is a strong removal spell in the pack. Oh yeah, we could also get another Wander Bending Scroll and go really strong in that direction, but these have huge diminishing returns. So you might think I'm talking about Lightning Strike, but I don't really want to get pulled into another color here. I'm just going to grab Watery Grasp and be happy with that. Oh, now this is very tempting. Last draft, we had so much fun with Day of the Black Sun, and now a Day of the Black Sun has followed us here. This pack is telling us a lot about the state of affairs of the table. First of all, is looking very open. So one direction that we could go in is to say the black actually has not really panned out that much for us, and pivot towards Meditation Pools or Hermitic Herbalist. Also, Gather the White Lotus means the white is open more than a certain amount. But cutting to the chase here, I am actually going to take the rare because I just love playing blue-black control, and I specifically think blue-black control is open. Oh, Iroh. Oh, Iroh. Now we're looking at whether there's an option to play some kind of teamer lesson situation. What are we giving up if we take the Iroh? Well, we already have one card that helps us splash into green. The name of our channel is Unlimited Splash. We're very heavily in blue, and the alternative is Lost Days. I do not want that many really slow removal spells. So I'm going to speculate on the Iroh here specifically because I saw that green-blue is a very open color pair, and we'll see how that goes for us. In this pack, Raucous Audience is fine in a teamer-ish, ramp-ish deck, but given that we have no green yet, I really don't want to speculate too hard in that direction, and I know for sure that Callous Inspector is going to be pretty good for us. So I'm just going to take that. 1-drops are better than 2-drops. This table is all over the place. I do not know what colors people are in. Maybe red? I guess red. I guess everyone is fighting over red in this draft, because now it looks like blue-white Flyers is wide open. We have two of the absolute best, maybe the two best blue commons in the entire format here. I'm going to take Forecasting Fortune Teller, but it'll quench ya because it goes so much better with all of our other cards, but it'll quench ya is a phenomenal card as well. Here, wow, I want that Watery Grasp, but with Watery Grasp, Deadly Precision, Heartless Axe, Swamp Snare Trap, Lost Days, and Day of the Black Sun, I think it's clearly Serpent's Pass, because I do have a blue-black, do have a double black card, I have a blue-black card. I really want to, in a control deck, you really want to have your mana online when you need it. And here we'll just happily take a Deadly Precision. Because we're in black, we don't necessarily need the Watery Grasps quite as much because we do have access to Swamp Snare Trap, Heartless Act, Deadly Precision, a board wipe. Here, I'm actually quite happy to take Geyser Leaper because it helps us not end up in, and I always quote this, but what Paul Cheon calls sweetness overload. Otter Penguin is an absolute gift here, by the way. Absolute gift. Super synergistic for us. Where sweetness overload is when you draft way too many interactive spells and draw spells and absolutely no ways of actually winning the game. So you always need to avoid that. Okay, looking at this pack, Fevered Visions I have not seen in this set. So at the beginning of each player's end step, they draw a card. If that player is your opponent and has 4 or more cards in hand, they deal 2 damage to that player. This looks very, very slow and symmetrical. The important part of it, which is everyone draws a card, is symmetrical. However, is it actually just great? No, because it's useless if they don't have 4 or more cards in hand, right? It's not like it deals 2 to them every turn. It's not just a reverse Phyrexian Arena or something. So I'll take an Idle Quenchia. My concern with that card is if they don't have 4 or more, then it's just a completely symmetrical draw spell, which is not good. In this pack, let's see, I'm actually feeling pretty good on ways to win. I have my Shadow Army, a Flyer, some Unblockable, and then a Giant Koi and a Geyser Leaper as Curve Toppers. I'm very unlikely to play any of these cards. I think we're settling comfortably into a blue-black control deck. The question is Idle Quenchia, which I'm perfectly happy with, or May. The problem is, I mean, May is a 2/2 for 2 first strike, which is kind of nice, but it punishes me more than it punishes them. So I think I'll take Idle Quenchia. I'm happier with Idle Quenchia than Sold Out because Idle Quenchia has something to do on turn 2. Sold Out takes much longer to come online. In this situation, I'm actually quite happy to take First Time Flyer. I'm not super high on this card, but the thing about First Time Flyer is if you can and you probably want like 7, 8, 9 lessons in your deck when you're playing first time flyer. But if it consistently has a lesson in the bin by the time it gets into interactions, like by the time of its, let's say, second attack or when it needs to serve as a blocker, then a 2/3 flyer is nothing to sneeze at. Plus, more importantly, evasion is the way that this deck converts advantage into winning. So I'll take first time flyer. I want to call out that I am missing an important piece of any control deck, which is card advantage. I'm perfectly happy to take a Corrupt Court Official. Maybe I could take Airship Engine Room and see if I get to play Iroh, but I don't even have that many lessons going on. Am I not dreaming big enough? Suppose I don't play Dai Indoctrination. How many sources would I need in order to run? Well, almost certainly I'm not running Tiger Seal with the way that this deck is looking right now, so we can probably cut the Tiger Seal and play the Corrupt Court Official and treat that as our likely deck list, at least so far. Fantastic pack. I think it's a clear Katara. I'd rather have the threat. I mean, we're looking at, here's our removal: Watery Grass, Double Deadly Precision, Heartless Axe, Swamp Snare Trap, Lost Days, and a Board Wipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of removal. As I said, we need card advantage. Card advantage is the piece that I don't really have much of. I guess I have Waterbending Scroll, Forecasting Fortune Teller, Messenger Hawk, Corrupt Court Officials, kind of card advantage, Callous Inspector in its own way, but these are all lesser card advantage cards. I think I'm going to very happily take a Katara here. I don't need the third It'll Quench Ya. And actually, I think a second Katara is looking good for us. We don't need the 2-drops so badly that we have to play Pretending Poxbearers. Also, by the way, we are set to play not that many swamps. Maybe I can get away with 7. Well, Waterbending Scroll does look a little bit worse with Agnikella plus Serpent's Grasp, or Serpent's Pass, rather. But okay, we'll happily play the second Katara. They are legendary, but it's just a really good card to have. Oh, I do love Catgator. I do love Catgator. It's so much better than Geyser Leaper or Merchant that I'll play it. Probably take this and cut the Geyser Leaper that I'm currently planning to play. Honestly, Serpent's Pass, the thing is, I don't really want Swamp Snare Trap in this situation, so I will take the Serpent's Pass. The thing is, I'm playing so many. I probably cannot play Catgator and Waterbending Scroll and double Serpent's Pass and Agnikella. However, I think it's better to play the Serpent's Pass and maybe cut Catgator. Okay, the table agreed with me about Fevered Visions. I actually wonder if it's the tank. It's probably just Corrupt Court Official here. It's a pretty good 2-drop. Serpent of the Past might be better than Giant Koi, or it might be better than Cat Owl. I actually think it's better than Cat Owl because I have no flying synergies. So we're up to 26 cards. We're going to have to do some cuts. Is this a Day of the Black Sun deck? Yeah, it totally is, right? It totally is. And we get a Watery Grasp. Even we passed so many Watery Grasp, and look how many we still got. Okay, we have some very interesting cuts to do here. Okay, so what I did to turn this into an actual deck is I cut Octopus Form in first time flyer. First of all, we didn't really need the Giant Koi because we've Serpent in the Past and Catgator, and I like both of them more, I think, in this situation than the Koi. I had already cut Tiger Seal and Geyser Leaper, and then I cut Octopus Form and first time flyer both because these kind of go together. Like if you just had the first time flyer and you decided to cut Octopus Form, you would feel very low on lessons for first time flyer, but that's actually our only lessons payoff. And Octopus Form is really good in large part because it's a lesson. I think it's a kind of a nice trick. It's also good if you have like one build around bomb that you're really trying to land, and we really don't. The Catgator is kind of nice, but it's nice on ETB. Really, the way that we're trying to win is to sort of grind out evasive wins, either through Otter Penguins or air damage. Our game plan is like do a ton of removing, and then Catgator, Serpent of the Past, Messenger Hawk, Spirit, Army, or Otter Penguin to sneak through the damage while maintaining card advantage over our opponent. And I also cut Callous Inspector. We just have a lot of tap lands. It's just not doing that much. For now, I'm keeping the Corrupt Court Officials. If these turn out to not be awesome, and by the way, that's because they go well with Deadly Precision. They are really useful for Waterbending, wherever that comes up. And it's pseudo card advantage. But if these turn out to be weak, I'll probably sub in the first time flyer and Octopus Form instead of them. Okay. So away we go. We need to get 2 wins, and we're hitting Diamond. All right, here we go. Let's get a good hand, please. That's not a good hand. I don't have a 2-drop. That is not a good hand. This is a much better one. I'll put back an island. I like these sleeves. All right, that's a 2-drop. I don't know that we'll actually play it on turn 2. With this hand, I would obviously like a way of drawing a second card, which I do not have right now. It's going to be hard to get card advantage over this opponent, I can already tell. We'll just hold up Quench. I'll probably just hold up Quench every turn until they do something. Until I have to use it, that is. Yeah, let's Quench Paku. So they're playing Bant Lessons, I guess. All right, I'll play Foggy Swamp. Playing Quench does discount our Serpent, but it's going to be really hard for us to have an instant speed Serpent. Maybe I should be playing the Koi instead of the Serpent. Ooh, that's a way to draw a card. All right, I'll just do that right now, I think, right? It'll make our Serpent potentially better. It's just got to be better than playing Otter Penguin. Here, I think I have to do the mana efficient thing. And it's not just mana efficient, it's actually getting me not card advantage, but an advantage in card quality. This card is just so good. I love Agnikella. It just makes it hard to lose. Oh, they also have an Agnikella. That's funny. Well, I have a Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper to go with my Agnikella. I will not be blocking your Death Toucher. I don't think that's wise. Hopefully they just invest in some huge chunky 5-drop here that I can Heartless Act. They did not. All right, I think I'll play Katara. Honestly, I think I maybe just play Katara and Otter Penguin. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, so because I can't activate Katara, I should actually attack with my Spirit. So let's do that now. You're going to kill my thing somehow? No? Okay. Now I'll play the Otter Penguin. It can get countered. If you have Soka's Haiku or something, I imagine they would have spent it on Katara. Reinforcements? No, cracking your clue. Okay. Looking for something specific, it seems like, if you're tapping like that manually. Cycle of Renewal. Sure. Yeah, I hope they sacrificed Agnikella. Ah, oh, rats. They didn't. Clever of them. Clever. Okay. These are sweet islands. I like them a lot. I don't remember those from M20. They specifically have beautiful islands. So next turn, if I draw land, I can play Serpent of the Past. Oh, Avatar's Wrath. But that just airbends everything, right? I don't think that matters too much, right? It's not a board wipe. I just can't cast them this turn. That's fine. Okay, so I'll play. I could Agnikella. I don't really want to. I'd rather just play this and draw a card. Nothing has flash here. Okay. And maybe I'll Heartless Act. I don't know, whatever they play. Right. The people, the LR cast, they were saying, and I thought this was a very wise point, that this is more of a falter effect than a board wipe. Even though it says Wrath and costs 2 and 2 white, so you would think it's a Wrath of God. It's more of a falter effect that is just slowing your opponent down rather than actually, and removing blockers rather than actually board wiping. So I'm thinking for a second here, I'm not going to crack my clue because I think it's too useful with Katara and also the double draw effects. So I can play this, play Katara. Then if I play the Penguin, I guess I'm one short of actually activating Katara. So maybe I want to just tap everything. I would take a lot of damage, potentially 4, 5, 6. Is it worth it to take that much damage? Let's see, I would get a Spirit and I would get an extra card. but it's only the spirit. That's all that would trigger. The extra card could be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I don't think it's worth it just for the counter and the spirit. I don't know. Maybe it is. They're not exactly rushing me down. A counter plus a spirit. Is that worth... The counter is worth essentially nothing, and the spirit's worth essentially nothing. So I'm going to say no. Do I want to play my Otter Penguin, though? I can basically double spell or double draw on any turn that I want. So let's just put down the Otter Penguin. It's possible I was supposed to hold up Heartless Act or Katara. They have a lot of card selection here. They've gone through half their library. Ooh, a Waterbending Scroll. Yeah, this is a player after my own heart. Someone who knows the finer things in Magic, for sure. So next turn I can start getting in for Otter Penguin damage, which seems good. I will not block that. This costs 4, so they can activate this, I believe. Okay, so let's start with... Could be activate Katara. And I'm going to activate her with tap, 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 and tap. So I'll draw a card. Oh, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Bing, bing. Then kind of want to deadly precision the wall top sentries, but if I play Corrupt Court Official, then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still one short of drawing. Okay, that's fine. So we'll get in with Otter Penguin. And probably just hold up Heartless Act. I suppose I could play Corrupt Court Official here. Maybe that's best, actually. Let's play the Corrupt Court Official. I don't anticipate needing an instant speed Heartless Act. Okay, whatever's in their hand, they really like. Apparently. Okay, I get a counter. I think we're okay after a board wipe, because I have a Clue, Serpent of the Past, and double removal. Rowdy Snowballers. They have yet to show me... This also seems like a case of sweetness overload. They have yet to show me, like, a creature. That's a creature that can kill me. That's fine, because Katara... I can still activate this, and it's actually just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Not that it really matters. All right, I'll take the 4. Probably time to spend some of our removal, I think. That's kind of nice, actually. So maybe I start by cracking a Clue. See what I can draw. Get a Spirit, and etc. Messenger Hawk's a pretty good one. I don't want to wait too long before spending my removal here, so maybe let's Deadly Precision... sacking the spirit that has Summoning Sickness, and zap this thing, making our Serpent 1 mana cheaper. You do gain 2. Resolve. Next, I'm going to attack with Otter Penguin. Bonk. Play my Messenger Hawk. Our deck is sweet. Our deck is sweet. Oh, I failed to attack with the Spirit. My bad. That was definitely my bad. And then I have drawn my second card this turn, so I'll leave Katara for the end of their turn. They can crack their meditation pools. They can also activate Agnikella. They can also Waterbending Scroll, so they have lots of ways of seeing more of the stuff in their deck. But I feel like we're not imminently taking too many attacks here. None of these are spirits, as far as I can tell. I did miss out on a point of damage, which is very unfortunate of me. Yes, that happens. Another land. They're finding a lot of lands. But that seems to be part of the point of their deck. Rock a Lanch. Okay. Whoa, very interesting inclusion in a 3-color deck, but I guess, no. Does not have trample. And you can flash it back. Okay. I guess they're very forest heavy, aren't they? And then they do flash it back. Wow. Getting 2 5/5s. All right. I accept. I have a lot of chump blockers at least. All right, let's draw a card. That's not great here. Okay, crack this. Yep, tabbing 2 white is correct. I get a bunch of buffs. Oh, that's a nice one. That is a nice one. I think it's fine to play lane for the turn. Next, I'll go in, and in for 7 damage. Bonk, bonk, and bonk. I will watery grasp one of these guys. Do I play the court official? No. Do I play the serpent? No. We're basically just going to chump block and draw a card. And Katara just keeps getting more and more swole. It's going to be a huge Katara. If only I had a bite spell in my deck. Or a fight spell. Or the Mythic that draws cards equal to the power, greatest power among creatures you control. Forget that that's green and I'm in blue-black. They are seeming to look for something specific. They're doing a lot of really deliberate tapping. No, this card performed well. It created a threat. The problem is not enough threats, I think. Not to speak too soon. I don't want to curse myself when I'm, again, 2 wins away from Diamond. Goodbye to Sparring Dummy. Wow, that's quite a one. Hey, look, its head is just like this thing. Where is it? This thing back here. All right, you may attack me. It does not have trample, so thank you for your service, Corrupt Court Official. Before damage, I'll activate Katara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Well, maybe Cat Gator's not so good in my deck. No, I mean, this is like... It's just as likely that I get 4 swamps as that I get 4 islands. Okay, looks like we are winning. I don't think Yip Yip or Enter the Avatar State does it here because these cards are unblockable. Bing, bing. Yep, looking good. You don't have any spirits, you don't have any flyers, so I think we're just getting an 8 damage. What is this? Oh, you have... What? Oh, you have this untapped. I actually didn't notice that. Oh, they could have a fight. They could have a bite spell, I guess. The ally bite spell. They could, yeah. But they don't. I wonder if they were looking for, like, can I draw a card or something? Because I had so many different draw outlets. 1 win to Diamond. Come on. Come on. Come on. We got to get there. All right. All right. Sorry, I skipped the part where I queued up for the next game, but here we are. And I think this is a keeper. Hopefully we get some lands. I mean, Cat Gator is pretty random here, but we have some early interaction. We have a 2-drop, multiple pieces of early removal. I essentially call It'll Quench Your removal at this stage. I'm absolutely holding up It'll Quench You because we have 2 of them. So we really do not want those to get stuck in our hand. And turn 3 and turn 4 is when they're really useful. Hopefully this is a land. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, this is the game that if we won, we would get to Diamond. So, of course, we're going to get some mana problems. It's just one more thing you have to overcome. Okay. Well then. Okay, well, now we'll play our 2-drop. Wow. I mean, and they play a card with Ward. Do I watery grasp it? I don't really want a 2-for-1 myself here, so when it dies, if there's a lesson in your graveyard, draw a card. I can't just not play a card here. Maybe I play Waterbending Scroll, but how long before I even get to activate that? Okay, let's watery grasp it. I just have to do something, and Waterbending Scroll is basically doing nothing, so... I'll just... Oh, no, don't attack. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, Otter Penguins. You're too eager. You're too awesome and eager. Waterbending lesson, no. That's exactly what I needed them to not have. Ugh, because they were so low on cards compared to me, but Wow. They decide not to waterbend, even though they could have. So they have something for 1, perhaps? Oh my god. I guess I'll play this. Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 non-lands and 2 lands. And those 2 lands we had in our opener, by the way. So it's 5 non-lands in a row. And my opponent's just swimming in lands. All right. I guess I'll attempt a Katara. If this resolves, I have some hope, but I don't think it's going to resolve. They're going to like Soka's Haiku or something. Oh, or they just have a Lightning Strike or something like that. Combustion Technique. Okay. It is what it is. Fire Nation Cadets. There are scarier cards you could have played. All right, we got a land. Actually, now we can draw cards off of the Waterbending Scroll. And we can shuffle in their Dragonfly Swarm, although I'm not sure that I want to do that. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'll just block and trade, I think. I wonder if they have a bounce spell. Like maybe they have, no, Boomerang Basics wouldn't do it here because I can just waterbend it in response. Faded Firepower. So when it sorts you control, it deals that much damage plus 6. So you would do 9 to me. Okay, I think what we want to do is, before the damage, I'm just going to shuffle this guy away. This guy remains blocked. Oh, yeah, I didn't have to... yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was talking about. That guy does no damage. So I'll play this and just main phase Serpent. And basically our plan is just to remove anything that they play from here on out. Honest Work is fine. That gives me an extra mana to Waterbending Scroll with. I can still sack it to Deadly Precision. 9 damage from a Lightning Strike. That's so funny. I actually think that's really funny. So I'm actually up to Cat Gator mana. Play Serpent's Pass. Do I just attack? No, because if they play the 2-1 haste, I'm going to really want to block her. Okay. So no attacks, and we're just going to try to get some card advantage. I don't think I have any way of dealing with an enchantment. Hama, you say? Okay, yeah. It resolves because it's something I can do about that. 1, 2, 3, and then you get a Lost Days. Cast the exile card during your turn by waterbending, where X is its mana value. So you could take Lost Days. I think you should. And then, oh, you actually can't cast it this turn if you take Lost Days. So I have time to remove Hama. They didn't take anything? I'm sorry, why wouldn't they take like Watery Grasp or something? Did they misclick? I don't really get what happened there. That's confusing to me. Okay, I could kill that now, but I'd rather just nuke it with a Cat Gator. Gain some life. All right, bonk. Let's attack for 1. All right, you're on top deck. They do have a lot of card advantage, though, I'm imagining. But I have a lot of lifelink online now, so that's pretty good. Play the Otter Penguin. Hold up instant speed removal. See what you've got. Did they flood out while I got mana screwed? They got flooded? Not really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, not really. They've drawn about as many lands as non-lands. So I do not want a Heartless Act because in response they can put a counter. So Heartless Act doesn't even kill that. So I'm just going to Deadly Precision it by paying the extra cost, leaving up 3, with which I could Waterbending Scroll, but I think I'd rather hold up Serpent's Pass than just get the 1 extra damage off the Otter Penguin. So let's do that. Serpent's Pass and end. If we win the game where we got mana screwed, I'm going to be so happy. The idea of making diamond on a game where we drew 10 non-lands before we drew our third land. But let's not get too excited. They could turn it all around right here. Fire Sages. We're looking good, right? We are looking good. I don't even actually need to do this. I can just draw. Wow. Wow. We got completely mana screwed. And we managed to turn around because you know what? And this is what makes this deck so good. The cheap interaction. Double Deadly Precision, double Watery Grasp, enough 2-drops. And we're at Diamond Tier 4. So now, my friends, we've made Diamond. I want to thank all my friends. I want to thank all my enemies. And it's just time to climb the ladder up to Mythic. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We have 7 days to grind up to Mythic, and I know we're going to get there. Check it out, the sweet diamond symbol next to my name. The sign of progress in this world. Not a very good hand. Serpent plus Cagator is very awkward. But it's totally a keep. I mean, I have It'll Quench Ya and a good 3-drop. So it's totally a keep. But I don't know, now we're in the diamond leagues. I don't know, maybe I'm outclassed. Maybe I need better hands than this to convert it into victory. So I could play Katara here. I'm smelling an It'll Quench Ya. I'm gonna run out Messenger Hawk because I actually don't mind Messenger Hawk eating the It'll Quench Ya. I think it's fine. So this can get quenched. Something's gonna get quenched eventually. Basically, here the idea is if they play a strong 3-drop, which there's not a super high chance of because they didn't seem to have both of their colors, then I could still Watery Grasp it. So it's not like I need to hold up It'll Quench Ya. And this just cleared the way for Katara. So I'm just going to land Katara, play a land, and end. And we can already start getting some counters on Katara by Watery Grasping. If they play like a 4-drop here, I can Watery Grasp it, shuffle it away, and get a counter on Katara. If I get a land, I need one more permanent to do that. I like how Squee blinks when you mouse over this sleeve. It's a cool sleeve. It's cool to see like the animated painting effect of the eyelid. I like that. Opponent is deep in thought, which makes sense. Now they probably have lots of goodies in their hand that they haven't been able to play yet. Watery Grasp is pretty bad against Messenger Hawk, but attacking is perfectly fine against Messenger Hawk, so I think that's going to be our strategy. I could attack or I could just draw a card. Draw a card seems good, doesn't it? Draw a card, get a counter. I don't need the counter. Let's hold up Quench. So then the question is, do I attack? If I'm likely to quench next turn. Attacking kind of gives away the quench. Or Soka's Haiku. They might think it's Soka's Haiku. I'm going to not attack. And just look like I'm holding back to draw a card. We'll see what they make of that. Shared Roots is fine. That resolves. Okay, well, now I'm glad that I held back Katara, because probably I'd rather draw a card than counter a 2-drop. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad I didn't attack. That was a good move by me. Congratulations, me. Good job. All right, pass, pass. So they have a lot of cards, but also, you know who else has a lot of cards? Me. Definitely Serpent's Pass. I would love to draw more swamps for the big guy. So let's just go with Serpent's Pass. Am I motivated to Watery Grasp that? No. I'll just hold up to draw a card again. Cagator is going to be nice. Like when it lands, it'll kill Messenger Hawk. I think that's worth it. Legend of Kuruk. So they're smartly playing around Quench. Yeah, that's a very, very good card. Oh, we hit diamond, so if we lose, it's okay. 2 on the bottom and then draw. I mean, this is like an absolute top card in the format. Their deck is pretty out of control. They do not have Quench mana up. Probably another Shared Roots or something like that. Oh, I wish we'd had that last turn. Dang. All right, do I just play Cat Gator here? I don't think so. It is getting in for, that is getting in for a lot of damage. So maybe it's Watery Grasp, attack, and hold up everything. I never really wanted to spend that Cat Gator on the, Cat Gator on the Messenger Hawk anyways. So what does this do when it flips? Waterbend 20, take an extra turn. So when you cast a spell, make a 1/1 with Spirit Shadow. I kind of want to draw Swamp and shoot that with Cat Gator when it flips. They're going to get a lot of spirits that way, though. But there's nothing I can do about that. 2 on the bottom again. Nice. I think they're digging for lands here. I thought it was going to be a shared roots, but actually that's a sorcery, so it doesn't make sense that they would hold up green and black to do that on my turn. Because you can't play sorceries on your opponent's turn. That's the thing about Magic. Okay, this is going to get double quenched to make my Serpent cheaper. I do not want them to have access to a Hama. Who knows what they would get to pull out of my deck. Still no swamps, huh? Do I need to be playing more swamps? It's actually kind of weird, the amount of not drawing swamps that I'm doing. Well, I'll play this guy and another land. I do want to hold 1 in my hand. 1 extra card in my hand. In case they have a court official. They could always have the discard too, but now they're going to make a million spirits. But importantly, their spirits cannot block my cards. And I am the aggro here. I'm the beatdown. Boomy. Okay, hello Boomy. So they're not going for a million spells turn, which I think is kind of good for me. Like, they still can't really block my stuff. Oh, they do get to Earthbend 3, so maybe they can block my stuff. Oh, and they put 3 counters on it. Yep, good point. Good point. They can block my stuff. They can definitely block my stuff. Yeah, this is looking like a loss for us. It's just the Legend of Kuruk. I mean, you just really need special sauce to do anything about that. And the amount of scrying that they've done, they put like all of these 7 cards are cards that they've decided to put on the bottom. Well, that is a swamp. So it means we can deal with one of our problems. Hopefully. They could have Quench. They could have Octopus Form. Quench? To get another 1/1. Makes sense. I like the way they think. Shoot that guy. Alright, I mean, we're not lost. Boomy's an issue. Spirit Shadow is an issue. Wow, did we do that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. I didn't even notice. I was just too focused on the Kuruk that was happening to us. I mean, I have so much removal in my deck. Heartless Act doesn't do it, but I have so much removal here for Boomy, which would let me just start attacking. Unless they play something else chunky here. But I definitely, this is a very winnable game from this position. It depends on what they have in their hand. But we survived the Legend of Kuruk without too much devastation. That's a pretty good one, but I am still the beatdown. So I'm not horribly concerned about them having card advantage over me. I guess they could decide to be the beatdown if they want to attack me with Boomy, but I can double block Boomy. I don't want to lose Katara. I don't want to double block it that way. Maybe I'm not the beatdown, but I have lifelink. We'll see. We'll see. Raucous Audience. That's a nice blocker. If they attack with Boomy, I'm not going to block. No way. But yeah, I don't think they will attack with Boomy. I think they maybe should, but they don't know what I have in my hand or in my deck. Wow, so that's 11 lands, 6 non-lands. That is a bit of an issue for me. So I'll tap like that, I guess, and draw a card. Do I actually want to tap Katara? No, I just want to draw a removal spell here. To be honest, I just need a removal spell. And there's one. But not the one that I need. Not the removal spell that I need, is it? Because I am 1 mana short. Shucks. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. Yeah. Not much to do about that. I'm just hoping they don't catch on to the fact that they can attack with Boomy. Probably what's going to happen is they're going to play another big green beater, like another Boomy. No, it's legendary, but something else. Badger Mole or something, and then they're going to start bashing in with Boomy, and that's when I lose the cushion of having a high life total. And they are in removal colors. Karuk is a good card. They're going to start getting counters on stuff. That is a good card, but I've chewed through 11. I only have 6 lands left in here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. With only 6 lands left in here, I have good odds of drawing non-lands. I'll take the 5. It just happens, yeah. I'm not going to block with Serpent. I really needed to draw things like 1 turn sooner, I think. Whenever they attack, I need to use Katara 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because... No, never mind. I was going to say I could draw Heartless Act, but that's impossible for multiple reasons or irrelevant. Yep, I take, I guess. Maybe I just block with Serpent, honestly. Oh, you are attacking with Boomy now. It makes sense. Okay, I'll block that. Take 9. I mean, I'm so lost at this point. There's really nothing to be said about it, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I needed like my best possible draws against Legend of Karuk, and I got really some of my worst possible draws. So that obviously is a way to lose at Magic. And they get to scry again. All right, new game plan. Can we deck them? Size makes sense. Looking at almost every card in your deck. That's so funny. Yeah, if I can draw Foggy Swamp, that's kind of my only out. I guess Catgator's lifelink gives me some extra breathing room, doesn't it? Badger Mole. Okay, I mean, that's something actually. All right, so I'm going to play Corrupt Court Official. Then I'm probably going to sack the Corrupt Court Official to still have access to Lost Days mana. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is not Waterbend, so I'll sack the Court Official to kill Boomy. Can I attack with Katara? It's kind of a ridiculous question, but no, I think the answer is just no. I'll play my land. I think my only out is is decking their remaining 11 cards, which is sad to say because the odds of that are so excruciatingly low. Hey, we hit diamond. The point of our deck was to hit diamond. Resolve, you do something, you gain some life. We're pretty close to the point where I should just concede. You know, I could draw Black Sun, actually. That's my out. I have that in my deck, I just haven't seen it yet in any of my games. If I can find Black Sun, that's my out. 19 cards. Yeah, it could happen. So I just need to draw as many cards as possible before I die. The name of the game is drawing cards. They might just be trying to deprive me of lifelink here, which is really good for me. Because they don't know that I can just remove one of these. Unless they have something, but they only have 2 up. So the only thing it could be is it'll quench you. They do not have quench mana. Cycle of Renewal. Sacking it, and you get to put a counter on the other one. That's obnoxious. That is totally obnoxious. So my 2 options are Foggy Swamp and manage to make enough of an army that I can block their spirits. Or I guess more removal for the spirits might kind of do it. But really Black Sun. Black Sun is the thing. If I can Black Sun and then... Yeah, I have to take it. If I can Black Sun and then just wait them out because they do not have that many cards left. Black Sun, let's go. It's not Black Sun. That's also not Black Sun, but that also actually buys me time. Let's draw a card. Black Sun. Not quite a Black Sun. Play this, get the last card out of your hand. Ty Lee is going to buy me another turn. I think I pretty much am priced into playing this Otter Penguin. Like, I think I just have to. Because at a certain point, they just have too many blockers for me. Okay. Resolve. 6 cards left. Play a land. Before attackers, I'll play Ty Lee. And let's tap down your Spirit. And now I perhaps have enough blockers. See what they can attack with. End of turn. I'll draw off of Katara. Black Sun. No, still no. Do I put the Watery Grasp on this? I don't think so, because I basically just need everything to work perfectly from here on out. So I think we will put this on Badger Mole, because that's a card that on its own is lethal. So let's just do that. And I definitely do play the land. No attacks and end. Come on, Black Sun, where are you hiding? They have 5 turns left to kill me. This is a funny game. I should not be doing as well as I am. I'm definitely stealing this. I think, are these cards that they put on the bottom? Okay, that's fine. All of my stuff, almost all of my stuff has good ETBs. Oh, you bounce your Messenger Hawk? So I can put the Messenger Hawk back in their library. Do I even want to, though? Because the way I win is by decking. I think I just have to say that's fine. You can get that back, and then I just have to deal with it. I just have a lot of removal in my deck. So hopefully it's okay. Resolves. Pass. I mean, a big attack from them might not be a bad idea. I really wonder. I guess they don't want me to get my Cat Gator stuff online. All right, draw a card. Black Sun. Okay, well, that's actually quite good, isn't it? Yeah. Tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in case I decide I want a Heartless Act for some reason. Yeah, maybe I do Heartless Act at the end of their turn. Honestly, let's try it before they have an opportunity to draw an answer. They could have It'll Quench You, but they would have had to top deck it. I think these are all cards that they scribe to the bottom, but no, I guess they Cycle of Renewal, so they're not really. Still no Black Sun. Okay, I'll play a Waterbending Scroll. Draw to Prowess. I'll tap it for 0. Don't I have a Black Sun in my deck? I do, right? I do, right? Okay, I just pulled up my deck list on the side to assure myself that I haven't completely lost it. I do have a Black Sun in this deck. Forecasting Fortune Teller. I'll crack the clue. Just spinning our wheels, spinning our wheels. Okay, well, I'll play this. I'm not going to tap all that stuff, so next, no attacks and end. Still looking for a Black Sun. All right, getting a little bit closer to decking. That does mean that they think they have a win condition in their deck, by the way. That means they're digging for something specific. Okay. You do gain life, it's true. I wonder if they have the draw 7 and shuffle your graveyard in. That would be really funny. That would be really funny. Pass. I don't even know what happens if they attack with everything. I think I'm okay if they do. 1, 2. Well, okay, let me just make sure that I'm at the right phase. I don't want to do this before attackers by accident. Okay, activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I'll do it again. I'm at 8 cards. They're at 3 cards. Otter Penguin. Foggy Swamp. I was looking for you, my friend. I'll play it. And I'll draw a card. Where is Dave Black Sun hiding? This is so funny. All right, well, I need to not draw so much that I'm the one who's getting decked. I don't think Black Sun is my answer any longer. It's decking. Do I even have more removal? I don't even know. Do I draw a card? I don't think I draw a card anymore. Oh, maybe I draw one more. Do I have... Okay, hold on. Let's try to figure out what's left in our deck. Okay, I do actually have another Deadly Precision, so I think I would like to draw that. Oh, Swamp Snare Trap is a good one as well. Yep, okay. And Deadly Precision, yep. All right, I'm just going to just take out something. Take out Invasion Submersible, maybe. Just try to stop them from getting a little bit more damage through. Next, no attacks end. 1 card to 3 cards. If they have like a Mr. Paku, now it's the time for them to show it. I wonder how we can lose. They could play a creature. If they play a big creature with evasion this turn, that's how we would lose. Well, I technically have Black Sun though, and it's one of these 3 cards. Are they gonna... They're gonna draw their last card? What are they looking for? There is an overrun sort of in this set. Hopefully they just got sick of it. Rise of Sozin. That's so funny. That is so funny. Well, I'm not gonna shuffle it into your deck. I know you'd love that, but it's not gonna happen. All right, I choose to let that resolve. All right. Good game. Good game. Wow, I did not think we were winning that. All right, we've proven our mettle at Diamond. I did not think I was going to get out of that one. Wow, what a nice game. That's blue-black control for you, folks. All right, our undefeated 3-0 deck that brought us to Diamond is now facing up against another Diamond level opponent. Let's see if we can hold our own. So my typical practice, first of all, this is an auto keep. My typical practice in situations like this is I'm not going to turn to the Forecasting Fortune Teller. And the reason is Forecasting Fortune Teller is a not great, but fine turn 4 card. Otter Penguin also, there's just no reason to have this down on turn 2 as far as I'm concerned. And especially with the double It'll Quench Ya, you have to be using those. If you're not using your It'll Quench Yas, then they have a early expiration date. The opponent is also thinking of quenching us. It's not as a cost discard. I'm just going to go right ahead and do this because I'm not too afraid of creature-based threats, and that kind of looks like they're digging for something. Maybe they have extra lands in their hand or something that they're counting on that to get rid of. So very, very happy with that. And now here I can play the Forecasting Fortune Teller. If they quench me, I can pay the quench cost, and also I can quench whatever they play. And if they don't play something during their turn, then I can crack my clue and be happy. Although I might want to keep the clue around because Deadly Precision and Katara both like it. So I'm really hoping they play a good quench target here. They did not. What did they pitch? A Lightning Strike. Yeah, that makes sense. Pass. Okay, I'm not going to keep this clue around. I don't think that's a very wise decision. I might just pay 5 to kill Soka, though. I don't really want a 2-for-1 myself to get rid of that Soka. Where were you last game? I was looking for you for so long, and you were in the bottom 3 cards of my deck. It's just disrespectful. I think Messenger Hawk is actually awesome, because I can go Messenger Hawk. If you'll allow it. Oh, they have the Surprise Quench. That's funny. Okay. I get Surprise Quenched. No attacks and whatever. Yeah, I was going to Messenger Hawk and then sack the clue to kill Soka. This way, I'll just do a 5-mana kill on Soka whenever I can, I think. Can also Day of Black Sun to kill everything. If, like, suppose they play 2 drops here or something. I'll block. So you're basically saying I can cast a lesson at instant speed? Nah, I'll do no blocks, make you invest more in your Soka, and then probably just Deadly Precision next turn by sacrificing the Forecasting Fortune Teller. Oh, maybe I'll Deadly Precision on the other card then. Deadly Precision by sacking, play an Otter Penguin, and hold up It'll Quench Ya? That could be right. It's a very obvious It'll Quench Ya. But such is life. I would like them to play more 2-drops for Day of Black Sun. But Day of Black Sun, this is not looking like a deck that Day of Black Sun is especially great against. Well, I could Day of Black Sun for 3 now. I actually don't hate that. If they attack me and try to bait me into an attack, which they'll probably do. No, they don't. So I could Day of Black Sun for 1, 2, 3, but I would be open to counters. But they're just going to start drawing like crazy. I think we do it. It's a 2 for 2. Actually, maybe I just play my own Katara and then no one's ahead. It makes Day of Black Sun worse, but I like the idea of holding up Quench. They could barrels my Katara. I guess that would be pretty annoying. Now, if they barrels my Katara, then I'm happy because then I just Day of Black Sun. So we're trying to really look like we don't have a board wipe. I'm just hoping they like extend a lot here. And if they play another, I don't know, Geyser Leaper, it's getting quenched. If they barrels my Katara, I'm Day of Black Sunning. I would like to draw another land so that I can Day of Black Sun for 3 and still have 2 up to respond to a quench or to quench on my own terms. This is actually good for me. I hope they activate it. They won't, but it would be nice. Now, do I block to save the 3 life points? Probably, because I think this is a tempo-based game. I'm counting on Day of Black Sun to resolve. It's just so obvious if I do that. Even thinking about it was already obvious. Maybe I should have done the block. After thinking about it, I was kind of priced into, now they know I have a board wipe. I hope I draw a land. I'll attempt this because I don't even really need it to resolve anymore. I'm just completely in trouble if they have a quench, though. Essentially just counting on them not having a quench. So they draw a card, that's fine. That's the good outcome for me. Unfortunately, they do have their Submersible online and they have more cards than I do, so we're in a very losing position here. But, I mean, basically just the way that things lined up. Like, they got their quench under me, and then they managed to counter the Soka. They have amazing uncommons that I don't have access to, like Invasion, Submersible, and Cave of Two Lovers, which are just better cards than the quality of cards that I was able to obtain in this draft. So that's the way of the world. All right, Katara. And I guess I'll trap the Submersible. Quench is looking really bad here, so. Oh, you have a quench. No, you have a removal spell. Okay, that's fine. Well, it's not fine. I'm very losing, but if I can draw another land, Cat Gator is going to be really good. I could, for example, kill their Earthbent Mountain. Then they can barrels my Cat Gator, and then I still need to find something else. Another cave. That's just ridiculous. And a Union Archers. Yeah, this is looking horrible for me. I think we could pretty much concede because I've already even used my board wipe. They're about to get a 3-3. Well, we'll just hang in there for a little bit longer, but this is I would put myself at like 98% to lose. But let's see if we can't pull it out. We've done miraculous saves in the last few drafts, so perhaps. But yeah, basically just the quench timing I don't know, maybe I was supposed to hold my quenches for longer, but they got their mana under them first, and typically in this kind of game, that really matters. My Black Sun timing was not great. I guess I could have waited longer. Maybe I didn't spend my resources perfectly. But also Invasion, Submersible, Cave, and Cave is just, the card quality is just absolutely off the charts. Yeah, so they barrels me, go in for 7, and I can go ahead and concede if I don't draw something impactful here. It has to be massively impactful because they're going to get another 3/3. Well, that's impactful. But no, they're going to attack, kill Ty Lee, and like I can freeze it, but then they're still going in for lethal, and Ty Lee has to basically chump block. So no, it's not happening. That's okay. They just had like all the mythic uncommons in the set. Such is life. Such is life. On to the next one. All right, we have a game and perfectly good hand. 2/2 drop. On the draw or on the play? On the draw, I think. So I'll start with the Otter Penguin. Turn 4. If you can play Otter Penguin into Otter Penguin and then Fortune Teller and crack the clue, that's already 8 damage if you manage to get your first Otter Penguin swing in. Something like that, approximately. More likely now we'll play Katara turn 3. Because my deck is not really an aggro deck, so I'm not sure that the Otter Penguin aggro start makes the most sense. But perhaps, ooh, this looks like an aggro deck. Put a +1 swing counter on each other ally. Okay, so you would rather have had allies. But no, when an ally enters, you get a counter on that guy. That's not great. Oh, are you going to block it? That would actually be... I don't mind. Okay, I was pretty afraid of that guy, so... All right, goodbye to Otter Penguin synergy plan, but hopefully in these colors, they don't have a way of just outright killing Katara, and the next turn we can play Forecasting Fortune Teller, and we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's okay, because I can still activate its abilities, right? So I'll play this. Unfortunately, I can't play the Fortune Teller and the Otter Penguin because I'm short on blue, but that'll be nice if I ever draw a Cat Gator. I may keep that clue around as a way to activate Otter Penguin abilities. This is not what I thought their deck was going to be doing when I saw the turn 2 Earth King's Lieutenant. I wonder if they just do not have that many allies, or they're maybe a more slower, mid-rangey, more controlling Bant deck. Team Avatar. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, I think I just want the extra card. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, so if I play this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I play this, I don't attack for 1. But I don't really care about counters on Katara for any reason, so. No attacks. Yeah, I think I could have played that and attacked and not drawn a card, but I just want the card advantage in this matchup, I think. Team Avatar, the reason is, first, because they can do this. But second, because Team Avatar, this is a kind of a deck that really invests in one threat. So I really want my removal. This kind of a card is going to be great in the Team Avatar matchup. So let's attack with both. I'm not going to do too much Day of the Black Sunning because I'm ahead on board. I do wish that I had more card draw here. This is when it attacks, right? Not when it blocks. Okay. I'll play this. I mean, you know, if I just draw a bunch of nothing and then they start outpacing me in threats, then I have Day of the Black Sun as a backup. Does not look like they're a go wide deck, though. You can airbend something. Okay, well, it's hard to kill this guy with Black Sun, so I'll let you choose your target, and then I'm gonna Heartless Act Appa just to get my damage in. I would love like a waterbending scroll or something like that here. All right, we're thinking hard about if we want to airbend Team Avatar, I guess. You'll give it flying until end of turn. That's fine. You may do that. End of turn. We shall Heartless Act that guy. Probably not exactly what their deck is trying to do. Deadly Precision, okay. They're not playing the discard color black, so I'll just go in. I do wish I had a little bit more of a threat. Or like Agnakella, Waterbending Scroll, that Katara surviving, like any way to make this Otter Penguin a little bit scarier. And if they play like, I don't know exactly what is in their colors, but they don't have a board wipe in their colors that I can think of, so I think it's safe to play the Spirit Keeper. Oh, you have something with Flash? Oh, that's annoying. Do you? No. Anyways, what would it be, like reinforcements? I'm just going to play Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Don't think there's much that they can do to me. Airbending lesson. Okay. I guess very mildly annoying. Kind of wish I had one of those. I wish I had a Kyoshi village is what I wish I had. Raucous audience. That somehow stops me in my tracks. Okay, so maybe I do... Yep. Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper. Oh, I was thinking Lost Days, but that doesn't make sense because you don't draw immediately from Lost Days. I'll just attack with the Fortune Teller. It's a gain only when you attack. They keep checking that just to scare me whenever I attack and they're representing a blocker. It's pretty funny. Avatar Enthusiast is fine. Pass. That can go in. Gets plus a bunch. Oh! I screwed up. That's so funny. I was supposed to Lost Days the Avatar Enthusiasts. And then block the Rockets Audience and kill it. That's so funny. Well, I'll take the damage because I really want to remove your blocker. That's so funny. I just took an unnecessary 4 damage and left them with an extra Rockets Audience. I guess it's that's kind of a risky line though, because if they have Pillar Jump or Yip Yip or anything, then I'm losing. So maybe I just don't want to block anyways. Maybe this was like the Galaxy Brain thing, is don't even go for that line. But being honest, I didn't see it. And I probably could have won right there. So let's go ahead and first crack a clue. This all looks very good to me. Bonk, bonk. Next, going with everything. Razor rings on that. That's kind of annoying. And then this is kind of unorthodox, but your deck clearly wants creatures and gets scary when you have creatures, so I'm just going to get rid of that. This is what chess players call denying counterplay. If you get rid of your opponent's pieces, even if those pieces are terrible, then you are denying them the opportunity to win. Probably should have tapped a little bit differently, but that's okay. Draw that. I will play the Serpent's Pass next and in for 5 and the turn. Avatar Enthusiast is not going to do it. All right, another win in the books. So we're 4-1 right now. I would like to trophy in my first foray into Diamond. Remember, we still have to grind our way up to Mythic, so that's the goal. And you know, we have a lot of pips to go until we're there. So I would not mind trophying. All right, we have a game. Awesome hand. No complaints at all. I need to remember not to play Agnikella on turn 2. That's the only thing. I'll probably lead with Swamps. Kind of want to just have permanents. Do I? No, it's probably better to do Otter Penguin plus Watery Grasp turn 2 if need be. Turn 3 if need be, I mean. Okay, they decided it's not worth taking any risks here. Well, let's just make them prove it. Like, yeah, I can take 2 damage. Actually, let's just Watery Grasp this guy. What have you got? Oh, Airbending Lesson. Well, that's getting quenched for sure. I wonder what's in their hand that they are trying to protect here, though. Oh, maybe they didn't re-quench there because I was just doing stuff still on my turn. I wasn't like conspicuously leaving up 2 mana on their turn. Quench definitely goes down when you're playing at this level. By the time you get to Diamond, people have cottoned on to the fact that there is a counter spell in this format. This is on the whole pretty bad for me. I really don't want to be leaving up Quench here, so I think we'll do a double Otter Penguin. I am facing a lot of damage though. But next turn I can play Katara and leave up Quench without being super conspicuous, but Quench definitely has major diminishing returns in this situation. Maybe by the time I'm at Diamond, I should just, and like this long into the format, when people have gotten quenched a million times. I should just be playing one quench. But maybe they won't expect the second quench. Ugh. Well, you know, I was talking about wanting to trophy. That's the absolute end of that dream. I guess I should have kept the quench up. That card is essentially unbeatable. Every single ally you control is a massive threat, which is essentially every card in those colors. At least they played into quench, which I'm happy about. But yeah, this is pretty much... If I draw... Now that that died, I'll certainly take that guy out and block there. Does that mean that they have... What's one red... What's a single red... What could they have for one red here? Maybe they don't have that many allies. I'll trade... I'll definitely 2-for-1 myself here for that. What's one red? What am I missing? Firebending lesson, of course. Oh man, I should have triple blocked. Oh, I did not think that through. I might as well just concede. Oh, that was horrible. I did not think that through. Firebending lesson. Wow. If I can get a removal spell, I still have a hope, maybe. I don't know. No, Wartime Protesters. You really can't beat Wartime Protesters. Yeah. Well, I guess if I get Day of the Black Sun next turn, that's like my one out. Ugh, why didn't I triple block? Playing against that card just like saps all of the hope from me. That doesn't even do it. I don't think even Day of the Black Sun does it now. Yep. Well, okay, so what I can do is play this, trap the captain, and then chump block the other one. If they have any ally, I lose. This card is just unbeatable. I guess I should have kept up Quench. Really unfortunate. All right, well, we're 4-2. So we still have a chance of a trophy. We did get into Diamond, which was our goal for the draft. This hand is good on the play. There is technically land removal in this format. There is one land removal spell in red, I believe. Oh, it's a cool sleeve. I'm not sure I've seen it. I'll play black just to put them a little bit less in mind of Quench. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, Agnicella with the Foggy Swamp. I have a Quench. I have a Trap. And then Lost Days is nice interaction. Oh, Raucous Audience. That's exactly what I was wondering if they would play that, and they did, and it's getting quenched. All right, now let's just spit out the combo and see what they've got. If they have something that needs to be removed, it's getting trapped. Otherwise, Agnicella is just going off next turn. All right, so I'll start with an Agnicella. In case this would end up dying in combat. I think it's safe to discard the land because forecast, if I, get stuck on not having lands, Forecasting Fortune Teller can help get me lands. Maybe I just cursed myself, but hopefully not. Okay. I'll play the Fortune Teller. It does resolve. I'll crack the Clue main phase to activate my Spirit. I did curse myself. Why did I throw that land away? Huh. Oh well. I would like to not be behind on lands against Ong at the Crossroads. Man, everyone is always playing Mythics against me every game. It's sad to me. All right, I'll sacrifice a creature to kill that one. No. Hold on. Let's do this correctly. I'll Swamp Snare trap that one. Sacrifice a creature to kill that one. And in for 4. Unfortunately not holding up It'll Quench You because we threw away our land. What can I say? But hopefully that was good enough. Along at the crossroads. What can we say? What can we say? Earth Kingdom General. That's a very tedious card. At least Lost Days can get rid of that. Leaf from the Vine, okay. Getting a food is not terrible for you, is it? Kind of wanted just Lost Days, the Earth Kingdom General, but it does have a good ETB. Yeah, why don't I just attack with everything? I can water grass their land. Water grasping a land is really nasty. In with everybody. Water grass the land. Sorry, it's a little choppy here. I started losing my voice just as I began recording, so I'm just pausing whenever I clear my throat. Hopefully you're not catching any of that. So I will in with everybody. Watery Grass the land. Otter Penguin. Hold up Quench. So now, and then pass. Now you're a little low on lands, on mana, just like I was. And you're investing in your Earth Kingdom General. Okay, you do gain a life. That's fine. I have my Unblockable online. You do get to Rowdy Snowballers. It happens. Okay, no blocks. This is very mysterious. So probably I just Agnikella. You're not a spirit, are you? Oh, wow. Maybe I just throw away Quench. Like, what's the point at this point? It's just frustrating to not be getting these lands. But I think Messenger Hawk is really good. Lost Days is really good, and I just need land. So, yeah, so that's it. Hopefully it's not a removal spell. So in for 5. I don't really care about your dinky little creatures, do I? You are going to get to draw a card, right? No, you don't. You actually do not have a lesson right now. So are you going to play... Maybe they were hoping to play... Well, it couldn't be Quench, actually. I wonder what they were... What just happened? Where did the lesson come from? A lesson in your graveyard. What was the lesson in your graveyard? No, they didn't draw. That was just their draw phase, and then this died, right? Right? Okay, you gain 2. It's very lovely for you. So I can Lost Days your land. It's pretty nasty. Wait, you gained 5? Weren't you at 5? Not sure I understand what just happened there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep getting in with Agnikella. I'm not really too afraid of the damage that they're representing, I don't think. Technically, they are getting so much life gain, it's upsetting, but I'm basically just hoping that they're kind of out of life gain at this point. Could be a fool's hope. Could be a fool's hope. If they Earthbend 20 or something, then... All right, there we go. Okay, so we're 5 and 2. Just bouncing back and forth on the diamond, first pip of diamond. But yeah, hanging in by a thread, 5 and 2. Well, I really do not hate being 5 and 3. I think that's overall a perfectly respectable draft result. You know, it's climbing the rankings and it's making a profit in gems. So if I lose this game, that's okay. Also, at the same time, we set out specifically, like, it's important to set goals and measure your success against them. And I don't just mean that in like a corny general way. It actually is important for guarding against tilt to have an accurate idea of how you're doing. Speaking of tilt, kind of just want to do Quench, Court Official, Court Official. Perhaps I will open with, Yeah, let's just hold up Quench, see what they represent. I don't really care about landing a turn 2 Otter Penguin. Yeah, that's definitely getting quenched. Taking one for the Inspector here. I think turn 3 will play Otter Penguin. Court Official, oh, this is nice setup for a Cat Gator. Court Official is good if you, it's better later on, right? You want to play it later. It's better when they have fewer cards in hand. Ugh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's specifically very good against Court Official. Removal. Nope. All right, well, Court Official time. I'll certainly double block the Rider if it attacks, and it has to attack to cast Fortune Teller, or whatever they discard. Maybe they discard some amazing ally. No, they're not so bold. Yeah, okay. But anyways, I was saying, like, when you say at the beginning of a draft, I'm going to be happy with 5-3, even if you go 5-0 and then lose 3 absolutely infuriating games in the most horrifying way possible, you should still endeavor to view it in the whole perspective of what you were setting out to do and be happy with it. So I take it very seriously. If I say at the beginning of a draft, okay, my goal is to go 5-3, then I'm going to be happy with 5-3. So if we lose this, no matter how we lose it, I'm going to be happy with the result of my draft. I'm going to walk away from the computer feeling good. And that's very important to me. I think I do play the Court Official. The other option is I could crack the Serpent's Pass. But they seem very stuck on cards. So they probably have a lot of good stuff in their hand right now. As much as I like the idea of being mana efficient, I think this is an opportunity for us to pull some good cards out of their hand before they like draw land, play a 4-drop, and then have like one not very good card left or whatever. Well, that doesn't quite make sense, but you know, after one cycle, if we draw something awesome to do on turn 5, they might have much better options by the time we get around to landing this official, and the Serpent's Pass is going to be similarly good no matter when we play it. Wow, Azula, and it's not an ally. I would be afraid. I guess it kind of makes sense because they're so far away from casting it. But you only need 2 lands. You actually already have the double black. So that actually makes me think there's something going on. Either an amazing spell is in their hand that they didn't want to discard, 2 amazing spells that they didn't want to discard, or they know something that I don't know about recursion. That's perfectly fine. So we actually, I wonder if they already had that, that means they kept this over Azula, which is awesome for us. Okay, if you Deadly Precision that, now you need a land to, yeah, you can't play the Forecasting Fortune Teller this turn. I think I'll double block. I have enough removal. I'm not too worried about this Rider. All it can do is make a 1-3, and they kind of have to spend their whole turn on it. This is a little bit infuriating. Well, I'll play my land first so that I can leave a swamp untapped in case I draw Deadly Precision, because I would spend that. Holy moly. Well, might as well attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, or 4, 5. I guess the 5 that I drew are very low impact, but yes, it's extremely infuriating to draw land. Well, the Rider has no more allies to bring back. That's the good news. So now it's just pretty much a vanilla 3-3. I guess it could be looping the Fortune Teller, so it's not quite vanilla, but okay, well, too little, too late, but put that on there. Okay, can I draw some of my, like, actually good stuff, please? Come on. What is this? You can tap something to remove something? Sure, go for it. Oh, this is going to be a long game. You're removing my Idle Quenches. Okay. I guess it would make my Leviathan smaller, but I think I forgot to mention I swapped out the Leviathan for the Koi after the last game. Okay, I'll take the 1 damage, thank you. This one about as badly as possible. I mean, we drew like all of our lands and the lowest impact part of our deck against a deck that has tons of card advantage. Cascader could be a nice one. I am going to play the land even though they have discard going on. It could be a nice one, but they have barrels of Blasting Jelly out. It's really not the savior that we need. Like, they have double clues. It's going to take a whole turn. It could get quenched. And we're just so losing. Kind of unfortunate to get flooded, and then you still can't... You just draw the most expensive card in your deck and still can't play it. Where were you a million turns ago? Okay, well... Still losing very badly. We're pretty much at the point where we could concede. I guess the way to not actually die is if I draw Black Sun next turn. Well, I can land a Cat Gator if they don't counter it. And they didn't. All right. That helps me. I'll not attack. I want to block. I assume it's getting Blasting Jellied. Fire Nation drain. Tank drain. They literally have a noxious Gearhulk. And my deck, which is 95% removal, cannot, for the life of it, find a single removal spell. So funny. I think I'll just take the Gearhulk, block the Menace creature. Oh, I'll take 6 then. Yeah, I have to draw a card. I need to find my removal. There's no other option. Okay. No, it still doesn't do it, right? Because this has Menace. Because I'm going to 1, and then this is a 1/1 with Menace, so I still need to draw something else to survive. And if they have another threat, okay, that's fine. Something good. That is a good card, actually. The question is... Okay, yeah, I'm going to Ty Lee before their attack. And yeah, might as well attack. I'm not doing anything else. So before their attack, I'm going to Ty Lee on Callous Inspector. Oh, before that resolves, I will tap down Callous Inspector. Thank you. All right, I'll discard nothing. This is pretty funny. Oh no, you have Obsessive Pursuit. Is their deck good, or did I just get flooded? I have no idea. Agnikella, I can't even discard a card. So do I lose? No. I actually don't. I don't have anything with flashback. So there's no point in just churning Agnikella. Oh, I'm so lost. I guess if I can get Black Sun... No, it still doesn't help because they're just getting 2 cards every turn. Need to somehow survive for 14 turns. So funny. This is so funny. What does it do again? When you attack, you get to put 3 counters on that card and it's going to gain lifelink. Yep. All right, well, I'll chump block. This is so funny. And you also have a Mechanist. Wow, their deck is amazing. Their deck is so good. I only wish that I had a deck that was a fraction as good as that. Even Black Sun doesn't do it anymore. Does that keep me alive? Well, I'm going to need to do some chump blocking, basically. But maybe I don't die yet. Because they don't have a clue to swing in with. I mean, this clue is Summoning Sick. Okay. Come on, Black Sun. Black Sun would be very funny. I need to Black Sun for 3. Yeah, for 3. If you have a removal spell, I die. But so far they don't. Kyoshi Battle Fan. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Black Sun for 3 is 5. Agnikella. So I'd actually need to draw land in order to... And I need to sacrifice it. I actually think even Black Sun is not possible here. If I naturally draw Black Sun here, I can survive. Yeah, that's not it. So if I do this, yeah, I don't have enough left to Black Sun for enough. Well, I crack my clue. Black Sun. Here it is. Watch. The power of magic. Black Sun. It's not going to do it. It's a wheel again. There's nothing that I can get here. Where were you 1,000 turns ago? Okay. Hey, well, 5 and 3, that's what we said we wanted, and that's what we got. We managed to hit diamond, and then we exactly stayed at diamond because we netted 2 wins, which was what we needed. So that's perfectly fine. I mean, I climbed up the rankings, climbed to another level, the level that was my goal, and I actually made a profit in gems. So that's exactly what you can ask for. Looking back at this deck, I think I navigated the draft okay. My deck was pretty good, but the problem is when you're playing against decks that have like Ong at the Crossroads, Noxious Gearhulk, the Scry 2 Draw 2 Saga, all this kind of a thing, it's really hard to get there when you have almost no rares or mythics, because you're really just kind of playing with one hand tied behind your back. We had some really good uncommons. Qatar is pretty good. Heartless Act is very, very good, and Foggy Swan Spirit Keeper is very good. But they really are at the end of the day not the A+ bombs that people are playing against us at these ranks. And Ty Lee's really, really good. So that was one. But Day of the Black Sun is really not in that category. So maybe I was supposed to navigate a little bit differently. Maybe I should have gone into green earlier and ended up in an IRO relevant place, especially since I start out with lessons. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with how it went. I set out my goal, which was to go 5-3. I hit the goal, and we're sitting at Mythic now, and that's our reward. So thanks very much, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, I'll be unlimited splashing tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day because I post a video every day. So please subscribe if you really like the content that I'm putting out. And until then, please have fun drafting and don't be afraid to splash.